Good morning, folks. My name is Pete Marcoux. I am an English professor here at El Camino College, and today I'm going to show you some of the features of Canvas, which is El Camino College's learning management system. So you want to think of it like your virtual classroom. In this space, you'll be able to interact with your professors and your peers. You'll be able to read lecture notes and take quizzes and submit assignments and check your grades. So before we get going, do want to say that the best way to access Canvas is using Google Chrome. So if you don't have the Google Chrome downloaded on your computer, I recommend that you do. Uh, Safari and uh, other browsers like Edge don't always work well with Canvas. So Chrome is the recommended browser. And then once you're in Chrome, you want to go to elcamino.edu. This is the main page for El Camino College. And then over here in the right-hand corner, kind of upper right-hand corner, you'll see Canvas. Go ahead and click on that. And then this is the Distance Ed webpage. So they're in charge of Canvas. And they've got some information here that if you do get stuck, there's a website. There is an email address. If you are having trouble, you can contact them and see if they can help you out. So basically, if you click on the Canvas icon, it will take you to this sign in page. You want to put your first name underscore last name at El Camino. Some of you might have some digits after your name. So that's your El Camino username and then your El Camino password. And then go ahead and click sign in. Once you sign in, you're going to be uh, led to the dashboard. This is kind of the landing page for Canvas. In dashboard, you'll see all of the courses you're enrolled in. Now, if it's before the semester has begun, you might not see all of your classes. Uh, that's because your professor hasn't published them yet. Um, but if you don't see some of your classes after the semester has begun, you want to contact that Distance Ed help email, and they can make sure and all your classes are accessible to you. So before we go into the class, I want to talk about this over here on the left-hand side. This is called the Global Navigation Toolbar, okay? And the first thing we're going to click on is this circle. This is an important place because you can add information, you can add notifications. So the first thing, notifications, this, just like on your smartphone, this allows you to be contacted when certain things happen. So you want to go through this, and each professor might have different requirements. So you kind of want to follow their lead. And here's the legend. Notify me right away, send daily summary, weekly summary, don't send me anything. So you want to make sure you're in contact regularly with your professor, you're getting updates. So you want to definitely do the first three, okay? Um, Below that, we have profile. This is where you can make some changes. If you click on edit profile, you can put in a little something about you. Um, you can also upload a picture. Professors like that. They like being able to see who they're dealing with. And in fact, this is a dummy account, but I will at some point upload my picture. I'm not going to talk too much about files. You can go to settings. There isn't much you can change here, but you can add email addresses. The default email address is going to be your El Camino email. I'm not going to talk about too much about any of these others. The name recorder, if you have a name that's difficult to pronounce, this is something you might want to do. It will help your professor in making sure that you're being addressed in the way that you want to be addressed. All right, just below the profile, the account is the dashboard, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then below that, you'll see courses. If you click on all courses, you'll see all the courses that you have taken or you're registered for. If you click the star, that means those are your favored courses and they'll show up first on your dashboard. And then if it's an old class that you don't want to see anymore, you just unclick the star and, they get put below, so you don't have to deal with those as much. Um, Over here we have the calendar. So this is kind of a global calendar. It's going to list all of the courses that you're assigned to and if there are any due dates. Okay, so I'm not currently in a class right now, so there aren't any due dates, but you'll have all the due dates here. Um, and then the inbox. So the inbox, this is an internal email system. Um, every professor will has a different policy on how they want you to contact them, but this is a good way because we're going to be using Canvas primarily. So you want to make sure that you're checking this. If you do have an email, it'll show up. There's a little notification, just like your smartphone, letting you know that you've got some messages in there. Below that, we have the help feature. Um, so there are different ways that you can get help. There are Canvas guides online that are very helpful. Uh, the help desk is here. You can click on that. Notice their hours are from Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:20. Okay. So if you need to get some help outside of those hours, then you could go down here to the 24-hour Canvas support. You can report problems. Then there's some other links as well. So that's a good way to get some help, especially if it's a technical nature. If it's related to the class specifically, you might want to contact your professor. And then the last tool down here is Pronto. Pronto is a chat tool. It's a way for you to keep in contact with your professor as well as your peers. Um, and just be aware that this is seen by everyone in the class, that if you're using this. So some professors will use it, others might not. All right. So that's the global navigation tools. This will stay consistent no matter what course you're in. Uh, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this dummy course and kind of talk to you about some of the tools that you're going to see. So when you click on a course, it's going to take you to the home page. And one thing you should note about uh, each course is that all of these tools over here on the left side are customizable. So each professor is going to turn these on or off. So you might not see all of these, okay, if your professor has turned those off. All right. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to just talk about some of the main ones. Um, so the first thing that we can talk about are modules. All right, so modules are units that your professor created to distribute information and quizzes and assignments. So some might do it by weeks, like we have here, okay? Some might do it by assignment types. So everyone's going to be a little different on how they organize their modules, okay? So at the beginning of the semester, your professor is probably going to explain to you, his or her method of organization and how you're supposed to move through the class. All right, so modules. And then if we look at a module, so in my case, I have a header here that tells students, when things are due. If you look at the icons, each icon represents a different tool. So this little spaceship means it's a quiz. This is an assignment if it has a piece of paper or with a pencil. The chat boxes indicate a discussion board. Okay, so these are all different tools that represent what you're supposed to do in the class. You'll also notice that there's a point system, and then if there was due dates, you would see a due date listed here. Okay. The other thing that's important is grades. So if you click on grades, you'll be able to see what your grades are in the class for all the various assignments. It will show you if the professor has weighted each assignment or each grouping. Okay. It will tell you when it's due, what you've done, what your score is, things like of that nature. Um, Let's see what else we have down here that's important. Um, the syllabus. So a lot of your professors will have their syllabi posted here that kind of explains kind of their rules and what they're going to be covering and learning outcomes, things of that nature are usually posted in the syllabus. Uh, there's also, assignments. Some professors might post that. And then you can also link your Google accounts to Canvas. All right. If you might not be aware of it, but you do have a free El Camino Google account, just use your El Camino credentials, username and password to log in. And then once you click on Google Drive, you can hit authorize, and then it's going to ask you which account do you want to use. So I have a personal account. If I wanted to put my El Camino account, I can go ahead and do that, and that will link. So you'll be able to, if you use, let's say, Google Docs, you'll be able to easily upload assignments, Google Documents, Google Spreadsheets, things like that into. And then you could do the same thing with Office 365. Once again, you have free access to Office 365 using your El Camino credentials. Um, so what you would do here is log in using your El Camino username and password. Uh, so this is just kind of a quick overview. Your professor might go into more detail, talk about what he or she uses in his or her classes. Um, so if you have any questions, you can uh, check out the help page over here, or you can contact your professor, and I'm sure he or she will have some sort of orientation. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.